This is day one of 12 days of work for 3 different clients, 3 different jobs. First one is flying to North Carolina. I'm not going to go in depth about all the gear for all of these jobs, but I am going to talk more about how I got hired for them. So this one is, again, ding, 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 for Adam Kalinowski. You saw him hire me for one in San Francisco. And that's where we met up with Tommy Beal. I've gone to, I think, Colorado, somewhere else. I know I've done a few of them. But this is another one, and this one's interesting because I am with Vipul Bindra. Adam is not here. He is playing, Puppeteer Wizard of Oz back at home. This is part of his effort to scale his production company. So he was not available for these shoots, / wanted to see how this would work out if he could send 2 of his contractors to fulfill the job for him, allowing him to work on the business, not in the business, allowing him to have an opportunity to scale. So I'm interested, one, because Adam said, I'm going to let you take lead on this because you've done a couple of these with me. Even though Vipul is completely capable, in fact, he operates at a higher level than I do. So I'm interested to get his thoughts of what he's feeling like being in the supplemental role. And then, like I said, I'm going to be doing Adam's role, more of directing. The interesting thing is, when I was the supplemental role for Adam, I did not bring gear. Adam brought all his gear. But now that I'm the director, it's switched. And now Vipul is bringing all his gear. So I never have to bring gear. This is great. I'm literally just a couple of hands and a somewhat functioning brain. And for travel, that is way better because Vipul had to figure out what gear we needed, how it was going to pack away. And it's just easier for me when I get to say, ooh, what tools are you using? So this was cool. I got to see the Flotex in action. This is the Flotex 75 with the active 6 head. And he was saying for my FX6 rig, and definitely for these, the active 8 is not needed. Man, I like it. I'm a fan. I like a lot of the things about it. The fast locking head, the quick adjustment on the head, and of course the flip locks, mono locks for each leg. The leveling is nice. The fluidity is nice. I can totally see this being an upgrade. But if the jobs keep happening like this, I don't need to get more gear. So this was our frame. Not my favorite. Didn't have a lot to work with. We went with key, hair, and bounce. That's it. So very light kit for travel. We're filming a veterinary hospital, and then we would frequently film, and then they'd say, we have something that we need to go film in the operating room. And we jump over there, scrub up, and then literally go right back to our interview room and continue doing interviews. So I was leading questions on this. Adam prepped me with a question list and kind of the goals of where we wanted to hit. We were doing a recruitment video and some awareness for customers to know that this hospital is here. So all these minimal items are packing up into this Pelican 1615. And Vipul was so glad he packed that one and not his long case. Because with his long case, he can bring in stands, he can bring everything. But when we took our small plane, our little puddle jumper over on our 30-minute flight, it would not have fit on the plane. They didn't even allow his that Pelican, the 1615, to fit on ours because ours was already loaded with luggage, so it had to go on the next flight. So it just makes me glad to know that I also purchased the 1615, and it's just easier when you're on these regional flights with restrictions and size and weight, but I still have yet to use it. So that is how I got this job, was working with Adam for his previous jobs. And how did I get that? Well, that was from me starting this YouTube channel. When he moved over here from Arizona, his buddy told him, hey, you're going to Orlando, you should check out this dude who is doing some work over there. So Adam hadn't even seen my YouTube channel, but that is the power of YouTube. It just connects people. So when he came here, we hired each other back and forth for a few different things. And recently, he's been trying to bring me out for more and more gigs, which I really appreciate. Now, this was an interesting discussion I had with Vipul. We ended up using these Hollyland Larks because, they were so small and faster to put on the talent. And in the airport, we were actually quoting for a job that's coming up in a few weeks, and I told him, well, I would rather have a sound guy who can just boom to get these OTFs, because I don't want to have to put lavs on people. It was for high school students. I definitely don't want to touch any wires through the kids' shirts or anything like that. It would just take too much time. So he was like, well, what if you use these? And I just thought of the disrespect for the professional sound recordists who are making the highest quality practices, and they know their job in and out. And then I come along and say, no, I'm going to use this $100 cheap wireless mic. But I think that's the right call in this case. We remove another crew member, each increase our rates, and the audio is fast and efficient. All right, finally. I hope this is the last time I have to send my camera back. I mean, I finally have it back now, so hopefully that's the end of this problem altogether. I thought it would be a safe practice to show me opening up the FX6. That way, in case Sony messed it up again, I could prove that it arrived like that. And while I do that, I want to talk about how Vipul was hired for that job. So Vipul found me on YouTube as well. And then when I started hosting filmmaker meetups, he attended those, met Adam there, and now all three of us are hiring each other for projects. I haven't hired Vipul yet, but he's hired Adam. I've hired Adam. Adam has hired him. Adam has hired me. And it's just this network that is growing out of one simple action, me posting things on YouTube. So the next two jobs that I have in this 12-day stretch, I will get to how I was hired for those. But it's just crazy for me to see the benefits of starting YouTube, of documenting my stuff. And it's not me saying, look at me do it perfectly. In fact, it's the opposite of that. It's here's an accurate representation of me making decisions, and then the audience gets to see what was the consequence of that. Was it a positive consequence, negative consequence, whatever? But you get to follow. And the cool part is now over 2 years of vlogs, you get to see like leveling up, steps forward being taken. It's not just, this was a corporate shoot and it's in a vacuum. It's like, no, you can see that the gear I have on this one is not the gear I had on the other one, or the clientele has changed, or maybe I'm getting flown to do this or that. And I'm excited to just keep documenting that stuff and seeing what changes. I don't know what type of stuff will come from it, but it has greatly increased my work hire frequency. I work way more after I started this YouTube channel, and I make more too. My rate has been able to change. So everything looks good on the FX6. I did ask Sony, hey, since I have to send this back again, can you throw in the little screws that hold in this mic holder? Because I tried to take them out with the wrong type of screwdriver, and I actually ended up almost stripping them completely. So now I'm really scared about keeping them in there. And, I mean, these things probably cost like 4 cents each, but they did. They sent me some new ones, and I'm glad. I bought some new ones from Ace Hardware, and when I put those in, I was like re-threading the holes in there, so the thread size was slightly off. Never doing that again. Just going to buy directly whatever the part is in the camera, camera, oh geez, it's late. And it's the day before I go to South Carolina. So this is my retainer job. I'm not going to show a whole bunch of this either. We're setting up for green screen. How did I get this job? This was from me doing corporate work probably 6 years ago, 2018-ish. And one of the people that I worked with, I ended up working with them a bunch of times. They were employed by the company, and I would freelance for that company. And we just hung out, friends, stayed in touch, send each other memes. And when she left the company, she could not take any of their previous clients due to the contract. So she said, hey, I have a client. I think you might be a good fit for this. And this is my retainer client. I've been doing it for a solid year. It has made a massive change in my financial status. I'm going to make a video on that later. I'm kind of debating whether I want to say my exact numbers of revenue this year, but retainer job has made a huge difference in my income. Also, I'm using this Anton Bauer plate for the first time since my Tilta. It's weird because on the Tilta, it was always bouncing between 19.5 and 19.6 volts, and now it's at a consistent, sustained 20. So higher pull, but somehow it's saying that I'm getting more runtime with the exact same battery and Tilta plate. I was getting 3 hours and 30 minutes. So now it's saying 4 hours, but yesterday a battery ran out at 30 minutes remaining. So I think it's working out to about the same because it has that stronger pull, even though it's saying longer runtime. I feel like you can hear it in my voice, but I'm fried a little bit, and we are on day 5, 6 right now. So I'm gonna be going to Charleston, South Carolina tomorrow morning. It's gonna be the second time I've worked for this client. So earlier in the year, January, it was my first time being a commercial DP. It was 7 days. We created 3 spots. It was literally a success for the business. They got aggregate 1 million views over 3 commercials, and now it's 1 year later. They said run it again. We want the same crew, the same creative team, everything, and we're gonna do 2 commercials this time. So instead of 7 days, it's 6, and I'm gonna bring my camera package. Thank goodness it's back and working. The new media, the new battery plates. I'm gonna bring my lights, all my Amaran lights, stands, and got a pack leaving tomorrow, 6 days, Charleston, driving there in a minivan. So should be fun, and I'll vlog it.
More than 50% of RVers suffer from CD, many without even knowing it.
I used to get excited before our RV trips, but then I started having issues. Camping issues. Like I just lost that spark for pulling into the spot for the night. No matter how much I wanted to, I just couldn't get into it. And it wasn't just affecting me. It was upsetting her too.
Every time we tried to go RVing, it was the same thing. No, literally, the exact same thing. Over and over again.
Where's the excitement, the butterflies, the feeling you can't wait to rip open your RV door and explore? Not here.
I knew it was CD, but I was too embarrassed to talk about it.
Camping dysfunction, or CD, can affect any RVer, anytime, anywhere. But you no longer have to suffer in silence. You can take action.
That's when I found out about Harvest Host. It's a network of more than 5,000 small businesses coast to coast where RVers can stay. Farms, wineries, breweries, attractions. Harvest Host really helped me find that camping spark again. And the best part is, it worked right away. No more planning ahead.
With maximum privacy and safe, beautiful settings, 9 out of 10 doctors recommend habit-forming Harvest Host as the cure for sad camping. Do not try a Harvest Host if you're allergic to Harvest Host. Having fun, loving where you camp. Side effects may include fewer arguments, better sleep, supporting small business, and even bow chicka wow wow.
Turns out it just doesn't have to be that hard.
Take note, ladies.
See you later, CD, and hello, Harvest Host.
Can't wait to do it again.
Talk to a doctor to find out if Harvest Host is right for you. But don't really, because they won't know what you're talking about. Unless, of course, they RV, in which case they'll talk your ear off. You know what? Just check it out online at harvesthost.com. Harvest Hosts, a more satisfying way to camp.